I've got 5 days to turn this pile of secondhand scrap fabric into the most whimsical patchwork red carpet gown you've ever seen. Let's do this thing. As you can see, I picked out the most princessy, cotton candy, fairy-like fabrics that I possibly could, and this is my little treasure trove of what we're working with. But let me tell you a little bit more about my dress design. To get started with my project, I've got 2 main points of inspiration, my fairy wedding dress and my tulle overlay. What I love from the wedding dress is the volume in the skirt, the patchworking style, and how I sewed all of these little trinkets on the skirt, like beads, sequins, ribbons, bows, and ruffles. And what I'd like to take from the tulle overlay is some of the design details, like the bows on the shoulders that have these ribbons that trail down to the floor, and I love the proportions of the skirt, which is constructed using 6-inch wide tiers. Essentially, if I could marry these 2 dresses together and make a new dress of whimsy and wonder, I would be very pleased. In my head, it's kind of like if you opened up a child's trinket box and then the music started playing and the ballerina started twirling and then it shape-shifted into a dress. It would become the dress I'm about to make. We'll see. That's the vision though. First things first, I have to prep the fabric. I'm going to iron it and cut it into 6-inch wide strips so that it's ready to be patchworked. But before I get into the fabric prep process, I am so excited to announce the sponsor of today's video, which is Printful. Printful is an on-demand printing and fulfillment company that helps people like you turn your ideas into brands and products. Print on demand is an amazing model where products are only printed and created when a customer places an order, which means that you don't have to worry about managing inventory. This means with Printful, whenever someone makes an order, they automatically receive it, make it, and ship it. They truly take care of everything. This system is really great for artists like myself and small business owners as well, because it means you don't have to put a lot of cash out acquiring all of your inventory right at the get-go, and you also don't have to worry about managing shipping if that's something that also stresses you out or takes you away from your craft. Plus, products are only printed when an order is placed, which saves time, energy, and brain power, which you can just put straight back into doing your thing, making your art, running your business, and living your life. Now, I'm sure you're interested in how it all works, so follow me. I gotcha. So if you're an artist, for example, you'll create your design, make it super cute, super exciting, upload it to Printful, connect to your online store, then a customer can buy this design and Printful will print and ship the product and you, the artist, earns profit. There's a really big variety of amazing products that you can put your design on, like apparel, home goods, and accessories, so there's something for everyone. And you can set your own profit margins, which means you can manage your income potential. Awesome. Now that's all amazing information, but why choose Printful? Good question. Firstly, Printful have excellent quality control. They have a commitment to high quality printing and product standards, and they are committed to ensuring customer satisfaction. They also have a free tool called Quick Stores, which allows aspiring entrepreneurs and creatives to easily launch an online store with Printful without any upfront costs. Packed with all the essential features needed to sell custom products online, Quick Stores is a great option to have a business up and running in minutes. Quick Stores is perfect for those that might not have extensive technical expertise in terms of setting up your own e-commerce platform, and you might just want to get started selling your designs. Now let me show you around the Printful website. Firstly, you'll need to follow an easy sign-up process to get started. Then you can get to work with your design creation. Once you have a design you're excited about, simply upload it to the Printful platform and you can apply the design to various product mock-ups like t-shirts, mugs, and posters and customize until you are happy with the product. The final step is connecting your account to an e-commerce platform like Shopify, Etsy, or Wix, just to name a few. This integration is very simple and easy to do, and now you're ready for the world to shop your product. If you're an artist looking to monetize your skill and sell products with your art on them, or you're a creative who just doesn't know where to start with selling your own products, why not check out Printful? You can use my link in the description box of this video to check out Printful and have a go experimenting, creating your own designs and product mock-ups, and start sharing your art with the world with the help of Printful. I really hope you guys enjoy Printful, and thank you so much to Printful for sponsoring this video. Oh, that's pretty. I need everyone to see this fabric, like really see it. I can't believe I found this secondhand. As soon as I saw it, I was like, yes, we've won. We've won. And there's meters of it. Ah! I'm so happy. It's beautiful. It's pink, it's iridescent, it's blue, it's green, it's purple. Yes. I think the only correct option for the bodice is this as the underlay and then this on top of it. Is that not kind of fabulous? It softens the print and then it gives it this glisten. And then I think the straps, the bows, maybe they're just this. I think it's right. Gorgeous. Oh, that's so nice and true. A little bit more. Fabulous. Because I want to overlay this material on top of my main material and it's really flimsy and a bit stretchy, I'm going to hand baste it down, just ensuring that it lays nice and evenly and flat across this bodice piece. If I did this by machine, it might look a little weird. Because I'm going to overlay this really sheer, flimsy, stretchy material on top of my main material, I am not going to use a machine to sew them together. I'm going to hand baste them, and that way I can ensure that the top fabric is sitting really nice and flat and even, and I can kind of oversee that process. Earlier on in my sewing journey, I used to view the speed of hand stitching to be a negative thing. I thought that because it was a slow process, it was negative and I could just do it faster on my machine. But the more experienced I become with my sewing, I've come to appreciate the power of slow stitching and the importance. The speed is actually the reason why it's wonderful, because you get the chance to be in control of your project. It's also just fun and meditative, so I'm a fan. I've got my bodice, which is just a rectangle all prepared, and I've got my 2 layers basted together. It's looking exciting. I'm just now curious if I should do some quilting stitches to really solidify these 2 layers together, just because this top layer is so stretchy and flimsy and this part is going to be sort of holding up the dress. I'm wondering if it might be nice to add a little bit more stability with the quilting stitches. This is my swatch. It doesn't add a lot, but it does mean that the 2 fabrics are combined. So I may do that. I'm also like, should I do vertical quilting? Or should I do like wavy lines? The only thing I'm certain of actually is that I need to hurry up. I think I'm actually just gonna leave it. Kind of like that it's a little bit airy-fairy. Right now I'm sewing the bodice right sides together. I'm going to finish the edges with the bias binding because that's my new obsession. And I think I'm gonna finish the bodice with the facing, which is also going to help conceal where the straps go in. Usually I would line this bodice, but I want to keep things lighter wherever possible. I don't want too many layers of fabric. For the straps, I thought it was going to be pretty hard to cut this fabric if it was a really, really long length. So I folded it up quite a few times. I think there's 6 layers of fabric here, but because it's so light, I should be able to get through it with my rotary cutter. And this is just going to help me to do a nice even slice. Oh, that was very satisfying. Okay, how wide should these bows be? 6-inch bows. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's what I usually do. Oh my gosh, this fabric is so pretty. I actually can't even deal. Oh my goodness. I can't even believe how long I waited before I got a rotary cutter and a proper mat, because that was so effortless. That took me like 1 second. If I had to cut that evenly with scissors, firstly, it would be just about impossible, and secondly, it would take me forever. Do you guys see the vision? Big bow here, big bow, and then it just trails to the floor. Drama! Hopefully drama. I'm like critically obsessed with this fabric. It's everything I need it to be, and more. Oh my goodness. Literally so pretty. Oh my goodness. I just love it. I feel like I'm swimming in a pool of sparkles. That wasn't very poetic at all. I'm really pleased with how workable this fabric is. I wasn't sure, but it's holding an iron really nice. It's easy to cut. The thing about working with synthetic fibers is that sometimes you just don't know what you're going to get. You don't know if the fabric is going to be able to be ironed, or if you iron it, is it going to hold the press? It might be stretchy, it might not. It's just, there's so many variables. So when I work with a synthetic or something see-through or something like that, and it's actually workable, huge relief. I just really wasn't sure about this. Beautiful. I'm just going to use an old paintbrush and gently use that to turn this right sides out. Oh, it already poked through the end. It's just such flimsy fabric. I'll use a safety pin. That's a better idea. There we go. I think I got a little bit of damage at the top of the strap. Yeah, but that's okay. I can just trim that, and I might just finish it by hand or something like that. I've already measured out where the two straps need to go, so then I can just match the placement of the strap so that it's the same on the front as it is on the back. Okay, the straps are now basted, so I'm going to attach the facing right sides together with this bodice, and that will finish the top of the neckline, and it will also make the straps look really nice and neat and clean. I still have to hand stitch the facing into the inside of the bodice, but this is the vibe check. I think it's cute, and I'm really, really happy with these straps. Also, in case you're wondering, I designed this dress for an Australian musical theatre icon. She's starring in a musical that's opening in a few days' time at QPAC, and I'm making this dress for her. So if you're wondering why it's not a perfect fit for me, it's because hopefully, and I mean hopefully, it's a perfect fit for her. That's just a little context. Okay, skirt time, I think. Actually, I just had a heartbreaking discovery. The straps. I just wanted to do a little test, and because of the way that this fiber is constructed, I can actually pull it effortlessly out. That's so sad. Not good enough. Like, oh. I actually just spent quite a bit of time doing that. And they're so adorable, but I can't have a structurally unsafe element be the straps. It's just so unwise. If one of those or all of those were to fray off while it was being worn, disaster. That's okay. That's really sad though. Well, I unpicked the straps from the bodice and I've tried a few things. I tried overlocking the edge. I even tried burning it a little bit to see if I could sort of melt it into a nice stable material. I tried doing zigzag stitches across this way to see if I could stabilize the material, and no matter what I do, it still rips away from the fabric. The only other thing I can do is try cutting it in the opposite direction, because in this instance, all of the threads are vertical like this. Maybe if they are horizontal, it won't fray away. Maybe. It is kind of sad though, because it kind of means that all of the work that I've done so far is for nothing, because honestly, it also puts my bodice at risk, so what a way to spend the day. It's okay. Maybe I can use these elsewhere in the dress, actually. Yeah, I totally can. Cuties, good morning. It's the next day. I had a little bit of a mental break last night. I realized that my vision wasn't working and I didn't think I could make it work. So I had to come up with a new design, and I did a bit of playing and I got something, but it's not the thing. I think the idea is merely a whisper right now, but it's brewing. We shan't spook it. I'm going to go to Spotlight. I'm going to go get materials. I'm gonna go buy a bunch of sequins and glue. Usually, I like to sew things on. We don't have time for that. This is like Spy Kids calling everyone. I actually think I'm gonna call my mum. Elijah's gonna help me. I'm gonna get all hands on deck. We're going to see if we can make this vision come to life.
Call in everyone.
We're here to save the day.
I'm not stressed, I'm stressed. That was a joke from last video. I'll show you my thoughts. So I started drafting this like really chill A-line sort of dress with a train. It's giving like Audrey Hepburn vibes if she was wearing a bedsheet. And I thought, could be cute to have all of these ribbons trailing down like a waterfall, because I think it's fine to use this fabric in this context. Cute and pretty. And then on the front, let's do like love hearts going all the way up the dress. And the love hearts all be bordered with sequins. Kind of cool, kind of cool. I unpicked all of the horsehair braid from my red sequin ball gown because I'm not gonna need that anytime soon, and I can always order more in for my ball gown, but I couldn't order more in for this dress. Anyway, I wanted this for volume. And then when I woke up from my slumber, the idea started brewing more and more and more. And I think the train is unnecessary. I think what I want to do is take great inspiration from a YouTube video that I saw yesterday, and it stopped me right in my tracks. The video is by Eleanor Stever. She is incredible. It's called From Fabric Scraps to Patchwork Dress. She was inspired by a Victor and Rolf piece. I have it on my Pinterest too, so I'll show it to you here. She was inspired by this, and then she made a beautiful dress that I haven't been able to stop thinking about since yesterday. And I think I want to kindly take great inspiration from this neckline and do some sort of like lace here, then a ruffle here that sort of melts into the sleeves. Two-tone sleeves, big puff sleeves, really, really exaggerated A-line dress. Hearts all over the dress. Every heart should have beads, sequins, or lace or ruffles around. Maybe the bows can sort of be amongst. It should just be like a madness of ruffled hearts. I think I'll line it. I think I'll add tulle into the lining to give it more volume, horsehair braid into the hem, more volume again, and hopefully it looks really effective having all of these hearts going up and then stopping clean where I have this sort of thing. Also, ooh, I did really love the flange detail on Eleanor's dress. It's like my favorite part of the dress, so maybe I'll add something like that. It's like a ruffle that goes over the shoulder. Guys, go and check out that video and subscribe to Eleanor because her videos are amazing. And that dress is beautiful. I know that I'm basically just pulling a Chris Martin and going back to the start. Yeah, we're going back to the start. We're starting again. It's gonna be okay. It probably is gonna be okay. Wish me luck. Okay, time to get supplies. I got everything I need from the shops, which I guess makes this no longer a second-hand trash dress because now I have some cotton, which is going to be the base of the dress. But fear not, the majority of the dress is still going to be scraps. I also stopped in at my favorite bead and sequin store in Stone's Corner. And I got a bunch of new different colored sequins, which is really exciting. I had to do a little bit of work on this just to make sure that I knew what I was doing, but basically I've just got this really big A-frame dress with a wide neck, and I'm just gonna add to this. The first thing I need to do is add bias tape to this raw seam on the inside, and that is honestly because my overlocker is playing up, so I'm a bias tape gal. I'm gonna do a Hong Kong finish. So let me show you how to do that. The Hong Kong finish is one of my new favorite seam finishes. It's a little less bulky than a regular bias binding finish because there's only 3 layers of fabric going into this. And it's also awesome because you don't have to make your bias binding. You can literally just cut your strip out on the bias and you don't have to iron it, which is awesome because that takes time. So I've pressed my seam out and I'm literally just sewing right sides together on the seam allowance at 1/4 inch. My seam is a 1/2 inch seam allowance, so I've got room. Just making sure I'm not catching anything else underneath. I find it makes the next step a bit easier if I press this bias tape. And now I'm going to press it away from the seam. And how this works is I'm just going to tuck this excess underneath and secure the binding by doing a stitch in the ditch, which means that it's such a beautiful, clean finish. On the underside, there is a raw edge, but because the bias tape is cut on bias, it really shouldn't fray very much. And also you can just do a little stitch from the right side if you want to really tack that down, but this is no problem for me. I will trim the excess off later. Right now, I've got 1.5 inches of bias tape, and I really like that amount. A stitch in the ditch is basically just stitching right in between the 2 fabrics, and ideally you get it so close to the 2 fabrics that you will not really see it because the fabric will kind of fold over it a little bit. You do see it, it's not completely invisible. Stitch in the ditch always confused me because I think it's not in the ditch, it's just sort of really close to the edge. I don't know. I do think it looks quite good though. The trick with this is just trying to get it to lay really evenly. All right, to do this yoke, I've kind of just created a shape that I really like. I've changed the neckline a bit, but that's totally fine. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill up all of this space below with my love heart appliques. And once this is done, I'm going to sew these 2 pieces together. Just in case there's any love hearts going over the edge, I just wanna be able to encase them all into this seam so it's nice and neat. Also, I'm doing my best to be coherent, but if I am talking nonsense, please forgive me because I think my brain is a bit fried, but we must push on. Side note, my mum's coming over to help because we're at that part of this process. I actually think it's better if I just cut this open now so that I know exactly where the hearts are going. So if that's, I didn't really know how to account for any seam allowances here. I think I'm just gonna press the seam allowance in. So it will be like that. My brain is broken. Is this my cut line? Because a part of me is like, what if I just top stitch that on? Certainly make things a bit easier. No, I'm gonna cut it. I think this is right. 1/2 inch away. That's my seam allowance. Okay. Hopefully that's correct. Oh my goodness, it looks like such a big space now. In theory, this goes like this, and we pin and it all works. I'm just gonna believe. I'm gonna trust and believe. Oh, this is something that I would be excited to wear. And in theory, if she likes my designs, then it should be fun for her to wear too. This is a fun style of patchwork, just leaving all the raw edges exposed. I'll definitely get time to do some later. Hey team. It's literally days later. In this household, we have done nothing but work on this project and sleep minimal amounts. With the help of Elijah and my mum and my little brother Matt, we have successfully made all of the fabrications and embellished a lot of the hearts. It's not every heart. I would love it to be every heart, but at this stage, my priority is actually getting this dress together. I wanted to get most of the work done when the fabric was flat because that's the easiest way to embellish, in my opinion. But it's definitely just come to the point where it's time for it to become a dress and I can do finishing touches at a later point. Oh, let me show you my setup, by the way. This is sort of the rough bedazzling setup. I tried a few things to figure out what was working. Firstly, love these trays. Elijah made me all of these little shallow trays for my sequins, and they're made out of Woolworths grocery bags. It's just like a thick paper bag. So good. It makes the sequins really easy to pick up if you're using a little tool. Basically, we have 2 tools here, one that I purchased and it has this little wax tip and that makes it super easy and awesome. And then I created another makeshift picker-upper. And this is a pencil with beeswax shoved onto the end of it. And you know what? Works just as well. And the lady that sold me these sequins told me this would work as well, but I wanted the pretty one. Anyway, both work, so if you just have beeswax and a pencil, that's fine too. Basically, I've tried 3 different kinds of glue. The Helmer Craft glue works, but it's, I don't know, a bit stringy and a bit messy. E6000 comes in a few different shapes and sizes. I found that I really like this bottle because of this nozzle. So you can get syringe attachments for the top of E6000. So you could just get this E6000 and get like a good attachment for the top. I didn't do that. We just bought a bunch of E6000s and then Elijah also bought the Fabric Fuse Extreme Stretch in the bottle and we were just sort of seeing what we liked. I'm not sure whether it's this formula or whether it's this nozzle that makes this a little bit less gluey on the fabric. I think this is meant for stretch fabric. I've ended up using this the most, just because it's like the most subtle look. Anyway, long story short, E6000 glue was the way forward for attaching the sequins, and this little nozzle bottle was also the way. And when it runs out, I've just been filling it up with more E6000. Would I have wanted to sew these sequins on by hand? 1000 bazillion% yes. It looks better, it feels better, it's just all round nicer. There's also no way in this wide world that we would have made this much ground on the sequin attaching if they had been hand sewn. It's such a timely process. So the glue was the vibe, we're going for visual impact. But that's the tea on sequin stuff. Okay, time to sew. I just said time to sew as if I haven't been doing anything but sewing for the last 48 hours. Can I just complain for 1 second? Do you know what was actually treacherous, horrifying sewing? Was pinning all of these hearts on and then using the knee bar of my industrial machine like this. Boom, 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 to pivot around every single heart. I literally have actual sore muscles down the side of my leg. I've never used my knee bar so much in my whole life. At this stage, I'm not even sure if I'm making sewing vlogs anymore as much as I'm just documenting my descent into madness. So that's fun. But speaking of madness, if you enjoy my videos and you want more, I make one exclusive sewing vlog per month that I post to Patreon. It's a completely exclusive video just like these ones, and yes, one a month. So I guess if you just want more content from me, you can find me on Patreon. The first time I added these panels to the front, I did a nice patterning thing and figured out how to sew them together. But in this instance, I'm just gonna top stitch this paneling on top because honestly, it's gonna visually look pretty similar and it's gonna be a lot easier. This seam is also gonna be covered with the big ruffles, so doesn't have to be the best thing I've ever made. It's just gonna get top stitched on like that. I think that's actually fine. All right, and we may as well do side seams while we're here. Oh my goodness, I'm so nervous because then I'm gonna be able to see if this looks terrible for the first time. Also, I did this really weird pattern adjustment on the back and it's gonna make it look really weird. I'm actually confident of it, I just don't know how to fix it. So that's also scary, but whatever. Side seams. First looks, everyone, please be nice. I think it's kind of awesome. I think I'm just completely overshadowed with the fear of like, is it good for someone else though? I think it's kind of great. I'm just a little clouded with self-doubt right now. It's kind of great though. It makes me feel a little emotional, I think. Yeah, it's very special. Whoa. Next, I'm gonna add this ruffle around here to cover up all of my crazy sewing. It looks bad, but the ruffle should fix things. I wonder if I should do sleeves first. I really don't want to do sleeves. I've got a few different kinds of tulle I want to try because different materials look different when you ruffle them. I'm going to try this one first. It's sort of like a lighter weight tulle. It doesn't have much sturdiness, I would say. Maybe a 5-inch ruffle, I think. So there's the purple ruffle. Have a look at that. Then, oh, I don't like it. The only other thing is I could try this other pink. The ruffle is in. I think it looks kind of good, maybe. Now it's time for the invisible zipper. I like oranges in all formats. Also, that's a fun fact. Also, I had a nap. That's why I'm like this. All right, invisible zip. It's time for you to behave. Signed, Carly. Wait, this feels like not the way I usually do it. It's fine. Moment of truth. Just need these ruffles to align vaguely. Oh, I don't like the way I sewed that ruffle in, but a little wonky at the top, but I'll sacrifice the top for this section here, I think. Oh, good. Hey, that's actually really good. All right, I'll take it. Buy that. I'll buy that. Awesome, that's really good. I'm shocked. Closing up the bottom section of a zippered dress is still a little bit of a mystery to me. Like, I roughly know, but I've never perfected it. Not even on my own wedding dress. I think I'm gonna use the zipper foot that gives me the most leverage. And then basically this is like a right sides together situation where the zip is here and you kind of just need to sew a smidge past where you sewed the stopper and try and make it look not bad. That's the game. And I'm so bad at this game. Not finishing any of the seams on the inside of my dress makes me feel like I'm a menace, like an actual villain. This is the problem that I get all the time. Zip is here and then I just get this tiny little bit of puckering where I've started the seam. I'll try again. I'm just like not very good at this construction thing. Maybe I should watch a tutorial. That would be wise. When I have a wonky circular hem like this, usually what I end up doing is putting it on my mannequin nice and straight so the shoulder seams are, you know, in the right place roughly. And then what I like to do is mark all the way around at an even point with my wooden ruler. So I think at the front, let's meet it let's do where the front is. So I think I'll do 10 inches from the floor to the front. And I'm gonna mark that all the way around. And ideally, hopefully, this will be an even hem. If I'd used a proper pattern for this instead of just freestyling it, I wouldn't have this problem. I would have curved the hem up perfectly, but I did not. And that's fine. I'm not opposed to just evening it out at the end. If you don't have a dress form, you'll have to ask your friend to wear it. Tee-hee. Friends are a lot less expensive than dress forms, but you might have to give them ice cream. That's usually how I persuade people to help me do random things. Oh, it's also how I can be persuaded to do random things. My favorite currency is ice cream. Comment if you agree. Now that I've got all my markings, I just cut along, basically just eyeballing it in between the markings. I'm sure there's a more precise way to do this, but oh well. I used to just snip it right on the dress form, so the fact that I even have markings is a step of improvement. Guys, comment below, tell me about the most time-consuming thing you've ever made and how you got through it and if you enjoyed it. Tell me the story of your most time-consuming creation. Would love to know. All right, the hem is looking pretty dang even. Now I'm going to add horsehair braid to the hem to give it a little bit more buoyancy. And that's that. I think I might be obsessed with this ruffle neckline situation. I wish I'd thought of it myself. I went to a show and now I'm back, and I'm back to sew this horsehair braid into the hem. Okay. I love this stuff, by the way. If anyone can tell me how to finish the edge of horsehair braid without it fraying like off the bias binding, I would love to know. Thank you. So once you sew the horsehair braid right sides together, you can flip it over to the wrong side and it will flip the hem like it's a double rolled hem. And then you can pin it down and sew it. It's amazing. Right sides together, you bring it over and it automatically flips the hem. Can you see that? Boom. Good morning, everyone. We have made some progress. I have attached the sleeves and little bows to the edge of the sleeve. They're just tacked on with a hand stitch. I'm wondering if maybe I should just tack one edge of the bow up into the sleeve so that it sort of sits nicely like that. I don't like when they sort of flop down, but I'm not exactly sure. Also, I added the bias binding to the neckline to finish it. I decided to do a little visible binding, which is very cute, and I ended up hand stitching that in so it was nice and manageable. The very last thing I'm contemplating, because I think the dress is done in terms of construction, but I am contemplating adding the extra little ruffle that I saw on both of my inspiration dresses from Eleanor and Victor and Rolf. I think it's kind of good in this fabric, and I'm pretty sure that in this context, this fray fabric will be fine. It shouldn't fray off or anything because it's not really under any pressure. But that's sort of what I'm feeling, just like a little bit more vibes, sparkle and interest. I think if it's more purple tulle, that will work, but I think I like the contrast of the purple, the iridescence, and then the coral sleeve. I think I'm gonna add it. I watched Eleanor's video, and in that video she tried doing two different kinds of ruffles. One of them was cut in a circle, and she said that it was a little bit more drapey over the edge of the shoulder. But when she cut her ruffle as a rectangle, it really kept its shape. So I'm going to say thank you once again, Queen, for doing the investigation for me. And I'm also just going to cut from a rectangular piece of fabric and taper it down so it's a little bit thinner at the bottom edge. I think I will hem both sides of the rectangle, actually every side of the rectangle. I will just do a tiny baby rolled hem and top stitch it on underneath this ruffle. That's my plan. I need to drop this dress off at the theatre, but I think I'm just gonna do that and then I'm just gonna spend like an hour or two just adding some more sequins. Just a last bedazzling effort. We're close. This material has humbled me so many times, but it's okay. I will persist one last time. Basically, I'm just going to taper this down so it becomes a bit thinner at the bottom. Perfect. It's literally disgusting to hem this material, but it literally must be done. It's good because it kind of looks bad no matter what you do, so, you know, I'm not going to worry too much about it, and because it's getting ruffled up, like, it's just not going to be the most noticeable thing in the world. I'm really enjoying this like section where there's just a lot going on. You've got the coral, the bow, the iridescent ruffle, this one, this lace, this bias. I don't know, it's just like a lot of little details. It makes me really happy. I think now the dress is complete structurally. I'm just going to spend an hour going over the dress and adding any other sequins that I feel are needed. I do want to just do a scattering of little iridescent sequins along this white and pink lace section. I think it would be nice if there's just something that catches the light but isn't necessarily taking up visual space. But that's all. We're just going to do a few more sequins and then take it to the theatre because it's done. I'm actually like kind of obsessed, guys. I was just filled with so much self-doubt when I was making it that I'm struggling to believe that it's good, but I think it's good. Okay, time for final thoughts. The dress is done. I am incredibly relieved. This project was so stressful to work on just because of the combination of how big the scale of the idea was, and the fact that I was making it for someone that I respected and admired, and then also just the time pressure. It was a really short deadline. I am thrilled that the dress got completed. I absolutely couldn't have done it without the help of my mum, my little brother Matt, and Elijah, my husband. Without the extra hands on this project, I do not think I would have been able to cover this ground. There were so many hearts to cut out and so many hearts to embellish. So the fabrication was absolutely reliant on the hands of these amazing people. So thanks, Mum, Matt, and Lige. I think something that I learned from this project is that I need to allow more time for big projects. I know in my heart when something is going to be a big project, and I think I just love that chase and the adrenaline. I think, oh, let's see if I can get it done in a week. It'll make a great video. But the reality of sewing is that it actually just takes so much time and consideration and thought and troubleshooting along the way. Like, oh my goodness, things go wrong, and sometimes you need to sit and look at a wall for an hour before you can figure out how to fix it. And I don't always account for that time. So I think going forward, I really need to do that in order for my work to continue to progress and for the joy of the craft to remain. So don't worry about me. I know I've been doing a lot of big projects recently, and it has been really exciting and fulfilling, but I think soon I will be slowing my approach down and stopping to smell the roses. You know? That's my thought. That's my thought. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. This brings us to the end of the video, and most importantly, the grand reveal of this dress. Let me show you what has been created. This is a crazy, crazy piece, but it was so much fun to make, and the work is very, very close to my heart. So I hope that you guys enjoy it. Let me know what you think. And as always, please let me know what you're up to. Are you working on any creative projects? Is there any exciting news in your life? Just leave me a little journal entry in the comment section, because you know I love to hear what's going on in your lives. So let me know. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. I will see you all in the next video, and enjoy the montage. Okay, bye. If you're still here, like and subscribe for more if you want. Okay, bye.
Who did that? Thank you, I need those. Let's go. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Don't show that in the video. Oh, she is so funny. See.
Get them details. Add any of it.
Oh yeah, raise the roof. Raise the roof. Everyone write in the comments, you look great, Carly.
Look at this in the sunlight.
Look at this in the sunlight. Wait, you look like you slay right now.
Really? Thanks. What about my diet, Dr. Kelp?
I'm walking here. Oh, that's my favorite heart, that one there.
It's so much better than the rest, I agree.
I think Matt did that one. That's the pool from Fantastic Four. Remember when the Thing fight Doctor Strange in Fantastic Four and he falls through the roof? You can crimp that.
That's so climbable, it's crazy. It's just crimps the whole way up.
Yeah, probably a V1 in my gym.
I'm not gonna do that in the dress.
But you could if you wanted to. You definitely could if you wanted to. Ice cream. Did somebody say Marcelleria? Somebody say... Did somebody say La Chamalia? Egg custard with lemon zest. Did somebody say La Marcelleria?